It's the fourth day of the Jimmy Tran trial. His co-defendant has already testified against him. We'll see what he had to say.
A moment in history, the first time a former U.S. president facing criminal charges. How former President Donald Trump is gearing up to plead his case.
And there's going to be severe weather across the country today, but not here. We're expecting some warm weather. We'll show you where some of that rough weather is going to end up and what our forecast looks like for the weekend coming up.
Live from KSAT12, the news at noon starts right now.
In what will be a historic move, a former U.S. president is said to be indicted. The official indictment has not come down, but word has been released that Donald Trump will face criminal charges. And although it's still unclear what they are, he and his legal team are getting ready to fight.
ABC's Morgan Norwood on how NYPD, U.S. Marshals, and New York State court officers are meeting to plan next week's surrender of the former president.
After Thursday's unprecedented grand jury indictment of a former president, Donald Trump appears set to travel from Florida to New York to be arrested by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office as early as next week. Multiple sources telling ABC News the Manhattan grand jury voted to indict Trump on criminal charges in connection with a $130,000 hush money payment made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels shortly before the 2016 presidential election. The details of the charges and the indictment itself will remain under seal until Trump is arraigned. Trump's attorney saying on GMA they will not be taking a plea deal.
We'll go in there and we'll proceed to see a judge at some point, plead not guilty, start talking about filing motions, which we will do immediately, and very aggressively regarding the legal viability of this case.
The investigation by Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg has focused not on the money paid to Stormy Daniels to cover up the alleged affair. That wouldn't be a crime, but whether other crimes were committed as a result of that payment, such as documents being falsified and campaign finance laws violated. Trump's former lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen admitted to helping arrange that payment to Daniels and was among those testifying before the grand jury.
This is not revenge, right? What this is about accountability. He needs to be held accountable for his dirty deeds.
In recent weeks, Trump has repeatedly lashed out at Bragg, warning of potential death and destruction if he was indicted, and summoning his supporters to protest.
From the beginning, it's been one witch hunt and phony investigation after another.
Many Republicans joining Trump in that criticism. But could Trump's alleged hush money payment to Daniels be a part of a pattern? Sources close to the matter say the Manhattan DA's office is investigating a second alleged Trump payment to former Playboy model Karen McDougal. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
A 34-year-old man involved in a shootout with San Antonio police officers has died. Paul Palafox was pronounced dead this morning at 6:20 a.m. at Brooke Army Medical Center. Earlier this week, police say a 66-year-old man was shot by Palafox near a car wash on Essex and Hackberry. The man helped guide officers to Palafox's home on South Mesquite Street. When they arrived, Palafox got between two vehicles and fired 26 rounds at officers with an AR-15. Officers returned fire and injured him in the process. Again, he has now passed away.
The Jimmy Tran capital murder trial now going into its fourth day. Tran on trial for the 2019 murder and robbery of Andres Salinas. Yesterday, testimony was heard from the co-defendant in the case, Sebastian Espinar. He testified against Tran, saying that while it was his idea to rob Salinas, it was Tran who brought the guns and began shooting.
He shot the first round, and after that, I shot multiple rounds into the air. Way above Mr. Salinas.
Espinar went on to say that he never had any intention to hurt Salinas. Testimony today just got underway a while ago. Eric Hernandez will have a full report for us later this afternoon. If he is found guilty, Tran would be automatically sentenced to life in prison without parole.
The Windcrest Police Department is asking for the help of the public in finding a man accused of shooting at an officer before starting a chase. Jeremiah Jezaniah Corrales is wanted on aggravated assault against a public servant, evading arrest with a vehicle, as well as other charges. Windcrest police tried to pull him over when they first encountered him this week by Walsham and Four Winds on Friday. But instead of stopping, he fired at the officers and took off. He drove his car off the roadway on Gibbs Sprawl Road. That then caused one police vehicle to rear end the other. The suspect did manage to escape. If anyone has his whereabouts, you can call Windcrest Police at 210-655-2666.
Rallies outside the state capitol in Tennessee are now underway, promoting gun control in the aftermath of the school shooting in Nashville this week. 3 children and 3 adults were killed. President Joe Biden has repeatedly called on Congress to take action for gun control legislation, weapon bans, but he faces an uphill battle. The GOP is currently in control of the House, so chances of passing substantial legislation are slim to none. Most Republicans say Biden is trying to undermine the Second Amendment right to bear arms, but also that going after guns is not the solution. Many feel the results of the mental health crisis and poor use of existing laws is what should prevent mass shooters from buying guns.
The problem that we are today, it's not just going to be a legislation. We got to have a severe conversation here with this country. We got to deal with mental illness.
This all taking place as today marks the first funeral for Evelyn Diekhuis, one of the 9-year-olds who was killed in the shooting. Services for other victims are scheduled over the next few days.
It was a scary moment, but a man had a little bit of luck after a fire broke out at his home today. His 1950s Chevy was almost free from damage during a garage fire. This happened this morning in the 1100 block of West Gerald Avenue, close to I-35 and West South Cross Boulevard. Firefighters say a mini fridge may have produced flames, which spread into a corner of the garage. And as for the Chevy, it was only covered in soot. Damages were minor, and the man and his car were uninjured. Now we're going to take a look at traffic going on around the city. We're looking at some upcoming road closures along Loop 1604 and I-10.
Traffic Authority Stephen Gavassa showing us where to look for traffic troubles up ahead. Stephen?
Month of March is coming to a close, but we can expect a lot of road work to take place in the month of April. So let's talk about what we can expect. Loop 1604 on the north central side of San Antonio. Yeah, road work will actually be current all the way up until April 2nd. So this is actually overnight. So watch out, late night owls, early bird commuters. 9 in the evening to 5 in the morning is when we will see an eastbound main lane full closure from Lock Hill Selma Road. That's the exit ramp all the way up until that entrance ramp. Let's now take a jump over here to Loop 1604 on the northeast side. Demolition work has been ongoing. Now, this will be continuing on Monday, April 3rd, all the way up to Saturday, April 29th. This is a long-term closure, guys. So we're going to see that work take place pretty much 24/7. Expect to see the westbound to eastbound Loop 1604 turnaround closure right there at Lookout Road. All right, let's take one last jump over here to I-10 on the east side of San Antonio, where road work, will continue all the way up until Saturday, April 15th. It starts at 9 in the evening and ends at 5 in the morning. We'll see alternating I-10 eastbound and westbound full main lane closures between W.W. White and Ackerman Road. I know it's a lot of information, but what you can do right now is scan the QR code that's on your screen that takes you to our KSAT traffic page. And all of that information I just talked about is on our website, so know before you go.
Some local college students one step ahead in their educational journey. How a new program at Northeast Lakeview is helping them save some money while they go to school.
And San Antonio FC is on a 14-game winning streak. How they're doing in the USL Championship League and where they're heading off to next. All right, are you ready? I'm ready.
I'm wearing my Fiesta colors
ready.
today.
It's that time of year again with Fiesta right around the corner. We have some awesome news. We have a special Insiders event where you and up to 3 of your friends can be Royals for the day.
This is such a great idea. All right, our own Mia Montgomery and RJ Marquez are out in the city. They are spreading the word about this. You guys should be wearing crowns too. You're Fiesta royalty.
Oh, they got them handy.
There you
go. Yes, we are out here at Legacy Park. We've been out here all morning, and yes, you can probably tell from the beautiful, colorful float behind us, we are previewing an amazing KSAT Insider event that we've got going on all the way up till Fiesta.
Yeah, this is the Be a Royal for a Day sweepstakes, and all you got to do is become a KSAT Insider, go to our website, or come out to one of these amazing pop-up events where you could take a picture with the float, and as you guys just mentioned, you will get the opportunity to be part of the Battle of Flowers Parade. You and 3 of your closest friends or family get to go out on the parade day and hang out with thousands and thousands of San Antonios at the day parade.
It really is just the coolest experience, I feel like, especially here in San Antonio. The winner and their guests will be able to be all decked out in royal robes, royal crowns, and gear. And along with that, if riding in the Battle of Flowers Parade wasn't cool enough, you also will receive a $1,000 gift card to Amels, which, as many of us know, the Fiesta one-stop shop here in San Antonio to get all of your Fiesta gear. But yes, these cool pop-up events, the first one happening here today, will be out here until 2 p.m. And RJ, it's so much fun. We got the mariachi out here. We've got the float props, Battle of Flowers organization. Everybody's out here.
Yeah, we got face painting going on. So we really want you to sign up to be an insider. But if you can, go ahead and go to our website and check out all of these amazing pop-up locations and these opportunities to sign up and take a picture with this float. And guys, coming up a little bit later on during the news at noon, we're also going to be talking with the president of the Battle of Flowers Association, Kelly Kennedy. She's part of this huge group that's out here today at Legacy Park to talk about the Battle of Flowers Parade and this amazing KSAT Insider event.
Yep, she's going to give us a lot more perspective on what we've got coming up in the weeks leading up to Fiesta there as well. So we will check back in with you guys in the next half hour.
Yeah, I'm going to take this back to you, JP. Right here, bro. This for you, and this for you. So right here,
man.
That fits.
Well, we can't mess up the hair. I know that's why you don't got it on.
All right, guys. We got to talk to RJ. He needs a Guayabera.
A Guayabera?
Yeah.
So I have to get a new one because I bought one last year for Flambeau Parade, but I can't use the same one twice.
Oh, that's true. You can't be seen in the same Guayabera twice.
Justin, these guys did not get the memo that Fiesta's around the corner. This is dark, man.
No, yeah. Well, don't worry. And by the way, RJ's hair doesn't move, so there's enough gel in there. He's good to go. He can brave these winds we got going on here too. Some gusty winds today. Hey, those skies will clear. We'll get some sun this afternoon. Temperatures are going to warm up. Quite a bit, in fact. The aquifer's up 0.5 of a foot. That's good news. 636 even in your pollen count. Bad news here. Oak is in the very high category, 12,680. It jumped up big time today. Moulds, pecan, mulberry, hackberry, all low. We got a lot to talk about. Storm system moving across the country. I'll tell you what that means for our weekend forecast coming up.
A local college program has allowed hundreds of students to get a head start on their Texas A&M engineering degree program. Plus, it's allowed the students to save money as well. How could that go wrong? Tiffany Wertis shares one student's experience in this program and how it helped to land him an internship.
If I throw this here and they collide over there, I'll be able to calculate different variables for a 45-degree collision.
Gunnar Howard is part of the Texas A&M Engineering Academy at Northeast Lakeview College.
This class is called Engineering 216. So what we do in this class, it's kind of it's a physics lab. So we simulate different collisions.
The program offers students an opportunity to pursue an engineering degree while co-enrolled at Texas A&M and the Alamo Colleges District. It's allowed Gunnar to save money and kickstart his career.
I scored an internship with a company called Patterson UTI for the summer, and it is paid, so I'm very excited about that.
Here in San Antonio, we serve a lot of minority students, and college, sometimes the cost of college tends to almost make students not want to go. So this program helps them save almost $50,000 in 2 years before moving to College Station.
Since the Texas A&M Engineering Academy started in 2018, about 250 students have enrolled in it. They hope to add more students this weekend.
So we have an open house tomorrow from 9 to 1. We're inviting all those students who are interested, families. We're targeting, of course, seniors and current college students, but everyone's welcome.
Gunnar says the program has provided a smoother transition into the college lifestyle.
I'm moving after this semester ends, so I'll be moving in the summer, and I'll be moving to College Station, and I'll be finishing, hopefully, my petroleum engineering degree at Texas A&M.
Tiffany Wertas, KSAT12 News.
I heard a whoop whoop off in the corner over there.
Well, earlier at the 9 p.m. show, or 9 a.m. show, I heard the scientific term Justin threw out, yo-yo.
Yeah.
That's what we're seeing today with the weather?
With the humidity, yes. It is like a yo-yo.
Like, yeah, a little hip-hoppy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we do it around here in spring. So we've got a couple fronts to talk about. A lot of humidity this morning and still right now, but that changes some this afternoon. We are sitting at 75 degrees, still cloudy. We're waiting on these clouds to clear out, but I do think they will. Southerly winds at 14 miles per hour continues to usher in the humidity. So here's what we're thinking this afternoon. Yeah, the clouds kind of melt away, and then we get up to close to 90 today. It is going to be hot this afternoon. Air dries out some, and we get more of a southwesterly wind, which will help to pump up those temperatures. A lot of places will be near 90 later today. So expect some heat once these clouds do, again, kind of go away. And I think we're close to having that happen. Dew points, well, this is the trend today on its way down. And by late tonight, we'll see dew points really bottom out as the front comes through, and we'll get some dry air tomorrow. But it is a one-day thing because the moisture comes right back in on Sunday. Here's the satellite picture, and you can see the clouds are trying to scatter out some. They're not going to completely go away, but the more sun we see, the warmer those temperatures will be. And you'll see mostly sunny skies, I think, by later this afternoon. This is all out ahead of a storm system, which is extremely, extremely dynamic. Storms starting to develop up here across northeast Texas. We've got all sorts of advisories. Behind the system, we've got gusty winds, fire danger, high winds in the Panhandle. You've got blizzard warnings across parts of the Dakotas, wind advisories out ahead of it, but most importantly, there is severe weather expected today. There is a tornado watch box already in place, and this includes parts of Iowa, Illinois, and down into Missouri. And watch what happens as this storm system moves east. We're going to get widespread severe weather today, not here, but to our north and east, well to our north and east, Midwest, and down along the Mississippi River. Now, this is rare. You don't see this very often. The Storm Prediction Center has put out a high risk or widespread risk of severe weather. Basically a guarantee that there is going to be an outbreak of severe storms today. And that's going to be up across parts of Iowa and then down here across parts of Arkansas and Mississippi. It is going to be a very busy day, unfortunately. Hopefully, we don't get a ton of tornadoes out of this, but that is a possibility. And notice that it does tail back down into Texas, but we are not included in that risk. So we pretty much miss out on any sort of rain. The front does come through here, but it comes through here without any showers or storms really popping up. Dry air starts to pour in here by tomorrow morning. Then as we get into Sunday, moisture comes right back and we start to see a few showers and the humidity is definitely there. And then by the afternoon, partly cloudy skies and still pretty humid. Rain chances as we go forward, 20% chance on Sunday. Good news here, we've got a really pretty good chance, I think, showing up on Thursday next week. So there's some hope here. 85 tomorrow, 86 Sunday. Really hot Monday and Tuesday. And by the way, we could see an isolated shower or storm over the weekend. But 93 Monday, 95 Tuesday, a chance for a few storms. And then those better chances of rain kick in as we get into Wednesday and Thursday of next week, guys.
Good stuff. Thanks for that, Justin. Now we'll take a look at how the Texas Rangers played in the recent game and the moment of silence they held for Nashville. Plus, San Antonio FC is currently tied with Sacramento Republic in the USL Championship League, who they'll play against next. San Antonio FC is currently tied with Sacramento Republic FC for first place in the USL Championship Western Conference with 7 points. SAFC is riding a 14-game unbeaten streak, including last season's playoff run. They're coming off a thrilling 1-0 win at home versus Colorado Springs FC when goalkeeper Jordan Farr stopped that penalty kick in stoppage time to seal the deal. Now the guys will head west to California to take on Monterey Bay FC.
It's a good team, especially at the end of last year. They made a run for the playoffs, and you know, they're going to be back to try to get us because we went there last year. But you know, it's a really good team, hardworking, very organized, a lot of quality players. So we respect them. We have our game plan. Hopefully, we go there and try to execute it.
Monterey Bay FC will host San Antonio FC Saturday night at 9 p.m. local time. With 6 games left in the regular season, the Spurs are done playing at the AT&T Center this season. They dropped their home finale last night, 128-117 to the Utah Jazz. The Spurs' next 3 games are pretty tough, playing at the Warriors, the Kings, and then the Suns. Golden State is 6th in the West, Sacramento 3rd, and Phoenix 4th. Sacramento recently locked up its first playoff berth since the 2005-2006 season. The Spurs are playing their last half dozen games with the big picture in mind.
No matter how many games we win, to end the season, you know, we're not going to be able to make the playoffs. So just to be able to understand, you know, we're learning for, you know, the future right now. We're not learning necessarily for this season. And so continue to just try to, you know, win or loss, continue to look at the tape, continue to try to, you know, learn as much as we can.
The Texas Rangers holding a moment of silence for the Nashville shooting victims before hosting the Phillies on opening day. Jacob deGrom and his 5-year, $185 million contract got the start And he was gone after 3 2/3 of an inning. That's because he allowed 6 hits and 5 runs, but he did strike out 7. Rangers come back in the 4th inning with 2 on. Adalis Garcia hits one to right field and off the wall. That scores 2. Garcia was then thrown out, trying to stretch a single into a double. Inning over, but not before they scored 9 runs. And their skipper wins his debut with the Rangers 11-7. Awesome stuff.
Yep.
Robert, producer back there, I wish we could have talked about my Astros. We got our Astros orange on.
I know, we were ready.
It's all good. Still got a lot of love for you. And the Stros.
And we got another half hour. He could add it later.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, a star athlete sent to prison for killing his girlfriend is vying for his freedom. A look at Oscar Pistorius' day in court as he went to a parole hearing.
A Moscow court ruling that an American journalist should be detained for espionage. Why some of his colleagues think Russia is using him as a bargaining chip with the U.S. Today at 5, we're talking car prices. If you're in the market for a new vehicle and you are not looking to spend tens of thousands of dollars, a lease might sound pretty good. The monthly payment is often less compared when you are buying, but what more do you need to consider? Coming up today at 5, Marilyn Moritz explains the pros and the cons to help you decide which one is a better fit for you. Security around the courthouse in New York, where former President Donald Trump is expected to face a judge next week. Key areas of New York have been barricaded, and it'll likely remain that way under heavy police presence until next week.
President Trump has urged his supporters to protest if he were indicted, but few appear to have answered that call. Only a handful showing up at the Manhattan courthouse, although before the indictment, the DA's office reported receiving threatening messages.
A Cold War-style arrest of an American journalist on spying charges is being strongly condemned worldwide. It's a move by Russia, and it's considered a throwback to the old Soviet Union's anti-U.S. tactics. As ABC's Patrick Ravel reports, the White House calls the charges against the Wall Street Journal reporter absurd.
Overnight outrage and condemnation from U.S. officials over Russia's arrest of an American reporter on spying charges, the first time since the Cold War. Evan Gershkovich, a reporter for the Wall Street Journal, now in detention awaiting trial. President Joe Biden today with a simple message for Russia.
Let him go.
The 31-year-old seen being escorted from a court in Moscow Thursday, pleading not guilty. Russia's FSB intelligence agency arrested Gershkovich while he was on a reporting trip 800 miles outside the capital in the city of Yekaterinburg. He is now being held in Moscow's Lefortovo prison, a notorious former KGB jail used for high-profile prisoners. Russian intelligence accused Gershkovich of trying to collect classified information about Russia's military-industrial complex. But this man, who says he was interviewed by Gershkovich before the arrest, telling ABC the reporter was looking into stories relating to Yevgeny Prigozhin, the founder of the Wagner mercenary group fighting in Ukraine.
This espionage charges are ridiculous.
The Wall Street Journal vehemently denying the Russian allegations, demanding Gershkovich's immediate release and calling him their trusted reporter. His arrest drawing comparisons with other Americans seized by Russia. WNBA star Brittany Griner, released 4 months ago. Former Marine Paul Whelan still serving a 16-year sentence on espionage charges.
We know that they're going to snatch somebody else because they always want to have a stable of hostages to trade. So this was essentially inevitable.
I know Evan personally from my time as a reporter in Moscow, and he's an outstanding and principled journalist. His colleagues and experts believe that, like with Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan, he's been taken hostage by the Kremlin to be used as a bargaining chip. Patrick Reevell, ABC News, London.
Jailed Paralympian Oscar Pistorius is back in court where he was denied parole today. A South African judge previously found Pistorius guilty of shootings and killing his former girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp. That judge sentenced him to 6 years in prison after he was initially convicted of manslaughter in 2014. Pistorius shot Steenkamp, a model and law school graduate, at his home in an upscale Pretoria neighborhood in 2013. He can apply for parole again in August of next year.
The man accused of shooting and killing 58 people in Las Vegas may have been upset about how casinos treated him as a high roller. That's according to a new 300-page report from the FBI. Stephen Paddock opened fire on the Route 91 Music Festival in Las Vegas from a Mandalay Bay hotel room. According to the report, a person familiar with Paddock says he didn't feel like he was being comped at the casinos as he had in the past. Casinos used to treat such high roller gamblers to luxurious rewards like free cruises, flights, and penthouses. However, many stopped doing that. The report says Paddock believed Mandalay Bay should have given him a room on a higher floor and a penthouse suite.
The U.S. Justice Department is suing Norfolk Southern over the Ohio train derailment. Federal prosecutors filed a civil lawsuit alleging the company's February 3rd derailment in East Palestine polluted local waterways and violated the Clean Water Act. The DOJ says the crash led to the release of pollutants and hazardous materials. Prosecutors are seeking hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages. No word from Norfolk Southern about the new lawsuit. And speaking of that derailment, we're learning the CDC team studying the health impacts got sick during their investigation. Investigator symptoms included sore throats, headaches, coughing, and nausea, consistent with what some residents experienced after that derailment. It is not clear what caused the investigator's symptoms. The group was part of a team conducting a house-to-house survey. That's just part of the long process ahead of agencies on the ground in Ohio in mid-March. The Environmental Protection Agency said cleanup will take at least another 3 months.
Pope Francis is expected to return home from the hospital tomorrow. The Vatican says the 82-year-old pontiff will be able to participate in the Palm Sunday Mass service in St. Peter's Square. Pope Francis has been in the hospital for a respiratory infection since Wednesday. This is the busiest time of the year for him. He has the Palm Sunday Mass this weekend and Holy Week and Easter celebrations next week.
All right, now taking a look at live cam. It's still cloudy out there. I guess I'm thinking about oyster bake.
Yeah, it's coming up, a couple of weeks.
But it's Friday. Justin, are we going to see any sunshine today?
We will. These clouds will start to break apart a little bit as we head later into the afternoon. We're still anticipating some pretty warm temperatures. Last night, if you were south of San Antonio, you may have heard some thunder, saw some lightning strikes. We did have a couple of rogue thunderstorms pop up near Floresville, and this is a great shot of it, getting a shot of the lightning there last night. Will we see any thunderstorms today? I don't think so. In fact, the forecast is dry, but we will get some gusty winds. And for those playing in the Valero Texas Open, or perhaps you're going out there to watch it, know that it will be hot this afternoon. Southwesterly winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow, cooler, lower humidity, 85 northeasterly winds. And then on Sunday, a return of southerly winds 10 to 15 miles per hour with a slight chance of rain. So it'll give the golfers plenty of challenges weather-wise with that kind of forecast. Outside right now, we've got cloudy skies still, 75 degrees, dew point is at 67, southerly winds at 14 miles per hour. In a KSAT 12-hour forecast, 88 at 3 o'clock, 91 by 5 p.m. So yes, a hot day. We are calling for mostly sunny skies later today. Front comes through, does not bring rain, but it does bring some drier air, at least for a day. The forecast after that gets more active. We do have some rain chances in play next week. We'll tell you all about it coming up here in just a little bit.
Thanks for that, Justin. A local boxer heading back into the ring as a headliner. A preview of his upcoming fight coming up in sports.
The big enchilada, still as iconic as ever on the outside. However, open its doors, there are some big changes. We're going to take a look at the renovations that are being unveiled at the Central Library.